Hello students, welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. And today basically we will discuss very important part, that is chapter number 3, chapter number 10 part 3, trial balance. Clear? So in this session basically we will discuss two important points. First one basically we will discuss regarding the suspense account. That is very important for the examination point of view. And under that basically we will also two important points, basically what is undercast, what is overcast. Clear? Along with that also basically we will discuss what is the meaning of undercast and what is the meaning of overcast. Clear? So let's start our discussion on the basis of that. So suspense account and rectification. Clear? Suspense account and rectification. Clear? So suspense account basically, that is basically when we are not able to identify the entry. So basically at that time basically we will take the help of the suspense account. And how basically this account basically helps to understand some entries, we will also discuss here. Clear? So in the earlier paragraphs we have learned, clear, basically in the earlier paragraphs basically we have learned to rectify one-sided and two-sided errors. Clear? Basically in the earlier paragraphs basically we have learned to rectify the one-sided and two-sided errors. So after preparation of a trial balance, clear, basically after preparation of a trial balance, clear. So basically when we have to use the suspense account, that is after preparation of a trial balance, if there is any difference, clear, that is after preparation of a trial balance, if there is any difference, so it may be temporarily, clear. So it may be temporarily basically transferred to a new account called as the suspense account. Clear? So after preparation of a trial balance, if there is any difference, clear, basically after preparation of a trial balance, if there is any difference, it may be temporarily transferred to a new account. Clear? Basically it may be temporarily transferred to a new account called as the suspense account. Clear? So basically where that balance basically it is actually going to be transferred, that is basically known to be as the suspense account. Clear? So basically either basically we have to credit the suspense account or basically we have to debit the suspense account. Clear? Both things is to be going to be happen. Clear? Either basically we have to credit the suspense account or basically we have going to be debit the suspense account. Clear? So basically at that time basically what we have to do here basically we will also understand. Clear? So during the course of checking or audit, some one-sided errors, clear, basically during the course of checking or audit, basically some one-sided errors may be find out. Clear? So basically some one-sided errors basically may be find out. So now to rectify these one-sided errors, clear, basically now to rectify basically these one-sided errors, second account can be the suspense account. Clear? Basically now to rectify basically these one-sided errors, second account basically can be the suspense account. Clear? Basically now to rectify basically these one-sided errors, second account basically can be the suspense account. Clear? As the difference is basically transferred to the suspense account. Clear? So basically to rectify basically these one-sided errors, second account is to be the suspense account. Clear? Basically why basically we will require here suspense account, because now basically we have prepared the trial balance. Clear? Basically trial balance. Clear? So basically if we not use the suspense account here, so basically it will not balance. Clear? Basically then our basically sheet will not be balanced. Clear? Trial balance basically will not be balanced. Clear? Basically if we are not utilizing the suspense account here. Clear? So now further, so if the trial balance, clear, basically if the trial balance debit, if the trial balance debit total is more, clear, that is debit total is more, just basically we have to do the opposite side. Clear? So then the difference basically will be put to the suspense account on the credit side. Clear? This one is the first case. If the trial balance debit total is more, clear, basically if the trial balance debit total is more, then the difference basically, clear, then the difference basically will be put to the suspense account on the credit side. Clear? Basically then the difference basically will be put to the suspense account. Clear? Difference basically will be put to the suspense account on the credit side. Clear? On the other side, if the credit total is more, clear, basically on the other hand, if the credit total is more, clear, so then what we basically we have to debit the suspense account. Clear? Or difference. Clear? So difference basically will be go to the suspense account on the debit side. Clear? So difference basically will be go to the suspense account on the debit side. Clear? So at the preparation of the final accounts, if any balance basically remains in the suspense account, clear? Basically at the preparation of final accounts, basically if any balance basically remains in the suspense account, then it will be shown in the balance side. Clear? Basically then it will be shown in the balance side of the asset side. Clear? Basically we have already discussed. Clear? That is expenses and asset will be debited and income liability on credit side. Clear? So at the time of preparation of final accounts, if any balance remains in the suspense account, clear? Basically if any balance remains in the suspense account, then it will be shown. Clear? Then it will be shown in the balance sheet. Clear? Basically then it will be shown in the balance sheet of the asset side. Clear? Basically then it will be shown in the balance sheet of the asset side if the difference it is debit. And it will be shown on the liability side basically if the difference it is in credit. Clear? When it is basically on the asset side, basically if the difference is debit. And on the liability side, if the difference it is of credit. Clear? And on the liability side, basically if the difference it is in credit. Clear? So please remember both these things. Clear? So now basically I will tell you basically some other important points regarding that. So first of all, I will help you to understand basically what is the meaning of overcast and undercast. What is the meaning of the overcast and undercast? Clear? So basically I will write here like, so it will, if I will write it has, write it, this one is a 5,000. Clear? If I will write 3,000, clear, in the place of 3,000, basically I will write it as a 5,000. Clear? So what it will be? Basically, actual basically it is 3,000, and by mistake I will write it as a 5,000. Clear? So basically it is overvalued. Overvalued basically I will write. So basically it is to be represented as the overcast. On the other side, now the same. Clear? Basically if it is actually 3,000, but I will represent it basically 1,500. Clear? So basically what is that? Basically undervalue, or basically we can say that basically it is undercast. Clear? Basically it is undercast here. Clear? So how basically what we have to do? Clear? Next step basically what we have to do here. So how basically we can make it over same? Clear? How basically we have make it basically we have to subtract 2,000 from that. Clear? Basically subtract basically from 2,000 from that. Similarly, in this, basically we have to add 1,500 more. Clear? Clear? Similarly, basically we have to add 1,500 more to make the correct entry. Clear? Basically similarly, basically we have to add 1,500 more basically to make the correct entry. Okay. So this is the main thing basically which you have to understand here. Clear? This is the main thing basically which you have to understand here. That is here basically we have to take 2,000 basically minus 2,000, and here basically we have to add 1,500. Clear? And here basically we have to add 1,500. Clear? So now let's understand basically with the respect of technical language. Clear? In the respect of accounts. Clear? So we have account. First of all, basically we have to take the case of overcast. Clear? So in the case of overcast, basically what we have to do minus. Clear? Basically what we have to do is to minus, and how basically we have to rectify that entry. So basically like we know that basically purchase account. Clear? Purchase account basically it is always basically we have to debit. Clear? Purchase account basically we are always basically we know that basically it is going to be debit. Like sales account, it is basically income. Clear? So basically it is always basically we can say that basically it is going to be credit. Clear? So in the case of overcast, clear, basically in the case of overcast, both things are to be rising. Clear? Both things are to be rising. Basically either basically it should be debit or it should be credit. Clear? Either basically it should be debit or it should be credit. Clear? So in the case of overcast, clear? So either basically it should be in the debit or it should be the credit. Clear? So what will happen? Clear? So in the case of the overcast, clear? If the account basically it is in debit, clear? If the account is debit, so what basically we have to do for the rectification? Basically we have to do the credit entry, clear? And for the credit, basically we have to do the debit entry, clear? Just please remember that, just a reverse of that. Clear? Just a reverse of that, basically you have to do to make the entry to be rectified, clear? To make the entry to be rectified, clear? Like basically I will take one example. Like by mistake, we have to debit the purchase account by rupees 400. But by mistake, basically, how much basically amount basically we have debited that account by rupees 500. Clear? So basically we have debited extra 500 rupees more from that. Clear? Basically we have debited basically extra rupees 100 more from that. Clear? So how basically we have to make that entry to be correct? Clear? So basically we have to actually debit rupees 400 from that. But by mistake, basically we have debited rupees 500. That is basically 100 more is to be debited here. Clear? 100 more. So like it is minus 400, it is to minus 500, just for understanding purpose. Okay? But basically this is the correct one. This is the thing basically which we have done, but that is wrong one. Okay? So how basically we can rectify our entry? If we put rupees 100 in that, clear? Basically if we put rupees 100 in that, so basically it is entry is going to be correct one. This is the same thing here. Clear? That is in the case of the overcast. Clear? In the case of the overcast, how basically we have to rectify our entry? Just basically reversing the operation. Clear? If the account is of the debit nature, just basically we have to do credit. Account it is of credit nature, just basically we have to do debit. Clear? Just basically you have to do debit. Clear? Just you have to remember this one. Clear? Just you have to remember this one. Okay. So now next one. Just I will write it here. Okay, on the next sheet. Now basically what we have to do, similarly basically we have to understand basically in the case of the overcast, undercast. Undercast, that is basically we have taken less, so basically we have to add. Clear? So basically we have to add. Clear? So in the case of the debit, basically we have to do debit. In the case of the credit, basically you have to do credit. Clear? Basically you have to do credit. Clear? This thing basically you have to remember. Clear? This thing basically you have to remember. Only after that basically you are able to answer the question. Clear? Not answer the question, basically it helps you to make easier. Clear? Basically it helps you to make easier basically to answer the question. Clear? It helps you to make easier basically to answer the question. Clear? So now I will take one example like date. Clear? So this is the representation. Clear? So this is the representation of the sheet. So here basically first point, like basically I will say that basically sales book of December was added shortly by rupees 150. Clear? So basically sales book of the December was added basically shortly by rupees 150. Clear? So basically here sales book basically it is credit. Clear? So basically sales book it is to be credit. We always basically credit. Clear? So it is shortly, that is basically undercast. Clear? So that is basically undercast. Clear? So undercast, so basically we have to do, but basically we have to do under that. So in the case of the undercast, clear? So basically we have to add more. So basically I will write it here date, like first point. So two sales account. Clear? So two sales account, basically just basically what we have to do, credit. How much? That is 150. Clear? If just if we left here, clear, basically if we put the entry up to this much point, clear. So here basically on the credit side there is 150 rupees more, but on the debit side basically there is the same. Clear? There is the same. Clear? So basically it leads to the mismatch. Clear? So basically it leads to the mismatch in the balance. Clear? So basically it leads to the mismatch in the balance. So what we have to do basically here, basically we have to debit something. Clear? Debit basically same amount. So basically what we have to debit here, that is the suspense account. Clear? So suspense account basically we have to debit. Sales account basically we have to credit. Clear? Sales account basically we have to credit. And what thing basically we will take this one. Clear? In the case of undercast. In the case of undercast, basically we have to credit. Now move to the next one. By understanding all these things, basically you are able to understand the concept and able to answer the question. Clear? MCQs basically will be provided in your group basically for the practice purpose. Total of the purchase book was short by rupees 50. Clear? What total of the purchase book basically was short by rupees 50. Clear? That is basically we have taken less amount basically from the purchase book. Clear? So what is the meaning of that? Basically, what is the meaning of that? Basically, we have taken out basically less amount basically from the purchase book. Clear? Basically from the purchase book. So basically we have to debit more. Purchase account. How much basically we have to do debit purchase account? That is basically it is short by 50. So basically we have to short. Two suspense account. Clear? So suspense account basically we have to credit by the same amount. Clear? Clear? To suspense account basically that is to basically we have to credit it by the same amount. Clear? Basically we have to credit it by the same amount. Now move to the next one. Clear? Hope you are able to understand all these points. Clear? Hope you are able to understand all these points. Now move to the third one. Sales return book. Clear? Sales return book. This is these are also words basically present in your book also. Clear? Sales return book is added by rupees 200 short. Clear? Sales return book basically is added short by rupees 500. Clear? By rupees 200. So sales return book. Clear? Sales basically we know that basically it is always credit account. Clear? So here it is sales return. Clear? So just reverse that, basically it is debit. It is short. Short basically that is undercast. Clear? So that is undercast. Clear? So what basically we have to do under that? So basically we have to do sales return account. Basically we have to debit by rupees 200. To suspense account basically we have to credit. Clear? So that in the end, clear? So that in the end basically balance sheet, sorry, trial balance matches. That is basically both asset and liability side match. Clear? So basically if you are able to understand this concept, clear, basically what I have said here, clear, that is undercast, overcast. Definitely you are able to answer the questions correctly. Clear? Clear? Just remember these things. Clear? What I am basically help you to understand clear these concepts. If you go basically with that, clear, basically if you go with that, definitely you are able to answer the question in the examination basically in the first attempt, and also with the accuracy. Clear? And also with the accuracy. Okay. So now basically we will move to the next one. Clear? There are some examples available in the book, and I request to all of you please go through that. Clear? And I request to all of you please go through that. I have basically mentioned here, that is like I will show one point basically from that. Clear? So basically correct the following errors. found in the books of Mr. Gidwani. Clear? So the trial balance as on 31st March 2019 basically was out by rupees 763 excess credit. Clear? That is excess credit basically of how much amount? 763. Clear? So basically this much amount. Basically we have to also on the debit side. Clear? So the difference has been posted to a suspense account. Clear? Difference has been posted basically toward suspense account. Clear? Show the suspense account. Clear? Basically we have to find that basically where basically we are facing the issues. Clear? Basically where basically we are facing the error. Why that there is excess of 763. So here basically they are saying that step by step. So an amount of rupees 150, clear, basically an amount of rupees 150 was received from Bhagat Ram on 31st of December 2019, but was not entered in the cash book. Clear, basically, but was not entered in the cash book till 3rd January 2020. Clear, basically, but was not entered in the cash book. Clear, basically, but was not entered in the cash book till 3rd January 2020. Clear, but was not entered in the cash book, basically. In the cash book basically till 3rd January 2020. Clear? So that is basically we can say that basically they are able to put or enter the entry. That is forget to do the entry. Clear? Basically forget to do the entry. Clear? In the books. Clear? Forget to do the entry basically in the books. So what basically we have to do here? So let's try to understand. So this is basically total measure of the entry. That is basically we have already discussed. That is forget to do the entry. Clear? That is basically forget to do the entry. So basically here what we have to do, we have to debit the cash account and basically we have to credit the Bhagat Ram account. Clear? Because what here basically what they say that here I will write here again that specific line. Clear? I will write it here again so that basically you are able to remember. That is what they are saying that clear that is basically an amount of rupees 150 basically was received from Bhagat Ram. Clear? So basically we have to credit the account of the Bhagat Ram. Clear? So but here actually basically we have forgot to do entry. Clear? Basically being a omission of entry basically now being rectified. Cash account basically we have to debit and Bhagat Ram account basically we have to do credit here. Okay. So second thing basically what they are trying to say here, the total of return inward. Clear? Basically the total of return inward book or December has been short cast or cast short by rupees 251. Clear? By rupees 251. Clear? So if it is basically short by rupees 251. Clear? So basically what basically how basically we have to rectify that. So correct entry. Clear? So basically it is shown by rupees 251. Show less reward inward book. Clear? So basically we have to debit that. Clear? Basically we have to debit that and we have to credit that. Second one. So this one is the rectifying entry. Clear? This one is short. This one is the actual and this one is the short. Clear? This one is the short. So basically it one comes out to be this one. So this one is the credit. Clear? Earlier basically they have doing that. Only 251. Clear? Now basically they show that basically why there is an excess credit. Clear? Because there is an inward return, inward book. Clear? It is basically short cast or cast short by 251, clear, 251. So basically we have rectifying the entry here, just in the simple case. So sales return account, clear, because why? Because it is a return, clear. So it is a sales return. I have already told you, clear. Sales account basically it is generally it is to be credit, clear. Here sales return, so in reverse of that, that is basically debit. So sales return account basically debit here by 251, and to suspense account basically we have to credit that, clear. To suspense account basically we have to credit that, clear. Here basically it is a case of undercasting, clear. Undercasting, that is basically we have to add. So in the case of debit, basically we have to do debit. In the case of credit, basically we have to do credit, clear. So here sale the return, that is basically debit. So basically we have to debit that. Clear. So please remember all the things basically what I have discussed with you, clear. Basically what I have discussed with you in that example, only these things basically will help us you to answer the question easily, clear. Basically answer the question easily and within a short duration, clear. Basically answer the question easily and within a short duration, clear. Now move to the next one, clear. I request to all of you, please go through the other points, clear. And if you have faced any issue in any question, even after practice, then you can tell me, clear. This is the second example basically which is available in the book. I will post the slides so you can go through with that, clear. So you can go through with that, clear. Now next one, that is rectification of errors basically when the books are closed, clear. Now basically what we have to do, basically when the books are closed, clear. Very very important, clear. Basically when the books are closed, clear. So when the errors are detected when the errors are detected basically before the preparation of final accounts, clear. Basically when the errors are detected basically before the preparation of the final accounts, necessary rectification entries basically are passed in the books, clear. When the errors are detected before the preparation of the final accounts, necessary rectification entries basically are passed in the books and the accounts rectified, clear. And the accounts rectified basically will then show the correct balances, clear. So when the errors are detected basically before the preparation of the final accounts, necessary rectification entries basically are passed, clear. Necessary rectification entries basically are passed in the books and the accounts rectified, clear. Basically will then show the correct balance, clear. And the accounts rectified basically will then show the correct balance, clear. So with these corrected balances, clear. Basically with these corrected balances, final accounts will be prepared, clear. Basically with these corrected balances, basically final accounts will be prepared and the correct profit or loss can be arrived at, clear. And the correct profit or loss can be arrived at, clear. So how basically in that, basically that is before the preparation, clear. Basically before, basically till now trial balance sheet it is going on, clear. Now basically this one is the next stage, clear. That is before the final accounts, trial balance sheet it is to be prepared, clear. After that basically we are able to find some entries or errors. So basically when the difference in trial balance remains even after applying various checks, clear. So it is carried forward basically to the balance sheet on the appropriate side, clear. Basically even basically when we are not able to identify the differences, clear, but we will not take too much time, clear. Basically for preparing the final sheet, clear. So we will carry with that, clear. So when difference in trial balance basically remains even after applying various checks, so it is carried forward, clear. So it is carried forward basically to the balance sheet on the appropriate side, clear. So it is carried forward basically to the balance sheet on the appropriate side as preparation of final accounts, clear. Basically as preparation of final accounts cannot be delayed indefinitely, clear. As preparation of final accounts basically cannot be delayed indefinitely, clear. So personal account balances, clear. So basically there are two things basically which we have to remember. First one is personal account balances basically which we will take in the next year. Second one is nominal account balances, that is basically incomes and expenses, clear, which we have not take to in the next year, clear. Because we have to find out basically how much income and expenses basically we that in specific year, clear. Basically we have done in that specific year, clear. So personal account balances, clear, that is basically those of the customers and suppliers, clear, are to be carried forward basically to the next year, clear. Personal account balances basically those of customers and suppliers are carried forward basically to the next year. But nominal accounts, clear. Basically but nominal accounts, expenses and incomes, clear. But nominal accounts, that is expenses and income accounts, are always closed, clear. Basically are always closed by transferring these to the trading and profit and loss account, clear. But nominal account expenses and income accounts, clear? Basically, they are always closed, clear? Basically, how? Basically, by transferring these to the trading and profit and loss account, clear? Basically, by transferring the balance in these accounts, basically, to the trading and profit and loss accounts, clear? To the trading and profit and loss accounts, clear? So any difference located in these nominal accounts, clear, in the next year cannot be adjusted to the nominal accounts, clear? So any difference basically located in the nominal accounts in the next year basically cannot be adjusted to the nominal accounts, as this will affect the current year profit or loss, clear? Basically, as this will affect the current year's profit or loss, clear? So what basically we have to do, clear? So therefore a new account, that is profit and loss adjustment account, clear? So basically a new account basically we have to use, clear? Basically for doing the adjustment of the entries basically of what? Of the nominal account, clear? Basically of the nominal account, basically we have to use a one new account, clear? Basically at that time basically we have to use one new account, that is basically known to as the profit and loss adjustment account, clear? Basically will be opened to rectify the errors basically in nominal account, clear? Basically for what? Basically to rectify the errors basically in basically nominal account, clear? So the balance in this account is then directly transferred to the capital account, clear? So the balance in this account, clear? So the balance in this account is done directly, clear? So basically the balance in this account basically is then directly transferred to the capital account, clear? Is then directly basically transferred to the capital account, clear? So now let's us understand basically with the help of one example this situation, clear? So here basically I will discuss case by case, clear? So the following errors basically were committed by the accountant of Geeta D, clear? So basically cash rupees 350, clear? Basically cash rupees 350 received from the 3-month chemicals, posted as 530 basically in their account, clear? So basically this is one-sided error. But here now basically we are at the time of the preparation of the final accounts, clear? So basically we have to use other account, that is the suspense account, clear? Because this is the person. So suspense account basically we have to use here, clear? So I will show here how basically they will. First, please remember this thing. We have already learned that for one-sided error, basically no entries basically will be passed when these are detected basically before preparing the trial balance. But after the preparation of the trial balance, entries basically will be passed, taking suspense account as the other account, clear? Now basically we are already prepared the balance, trial balance, clear? So now what basically we have to do here, basically we have to done that is basically we have to use the other account, that is the suspense account, clear? Basically that is the suspense account. So how basically we have to use now, clear? Basically how basically we have to use that account. So let's understand here. So that is before the trial balance, clear? Before the trial balance, after the trial balance, and after final accounts, clear? And after final. So basically this is a one-sided error, clear? So trial chemical accounts basically is credited in excess rupees 150, clear? Because in the place of 350, it is credited by rupees 530. So basically that is excess credited. So simply how basically we can rectify this entry? By debit the account, clear? By debit the account by the difference both, clear? The difference here it is to basically 180. So basically debit trim chemicals basically with the rupees 180 basically we are able to rectify the entry, that is basically when before the trial balance. Balance, clear? Basically we have to do the debit, clear? Basically we have to do the debit of basically which account, that is trim chemicals, clear? Basically we have to debit. On the other side basically which account basically we have to credit, that is the suspense account, clear? So at that time basically which account basically we have to credit, the account that is the suspense account basically we have to credit at that time, clear? So please remember these things, clear? So please remember these things. So after the final accounts, clear? So how it will be represented, that is Raymond chemicals account, that is debit. Suspense account here it is to be credit, clear? Suspense account here it is to be credit, clear? So in this way it will be shown, clear? So in this way basically it will be shown, and when it will be shown like this one, basically after the preparation of the final accounts, clear? Basically after the final accounts, clear? Or how basically when basically we have to use the suspense account, that is entries are to be detected later stage. Clear? Basically, when the entry are to be detected later stage, that is after the preparation of the final account. Sorry, after the trial balance preparation. Clear? After the trial balance preparation. Hope now it is clear to all of you. Clear. Same entries basically will be for other one, like second one here is rupees 260 paid basically for the purchase of new office furniture, charged to the office expenses. Clear? Basically rupees 260 basically paid for the purchase of new furniture, office furniture, charged to the office expenses. Clear? Basically when we are going to purchase. Clear? So basically we have to purchase the debit the purchase account. Clear? Basically what here basically what they will do, basically they have charged to the office expenses. Clear? So how basically we have to show that entry here. So in this account, clear, first of all, basically we will know that in this account, basically entry affects basically two accounts. Clear, first one is the office furniture and office expenses. So basically we have to debit the office furniture account, clear, office furniture account. And basically we have to credit the office expenses account, clear, before the trial balance. In this way, basically entry can be rectified. Clear, basically in this way entry can be rectified. Clear. So how after that, basically we have to rectify that entry. Clear. This is the thing basically we have to do. Clear. Basically we have to do the office furniture account. Basically we have to debit that is, or this one is the thing. Clear. But how? Okay. There is, I think, office furniture account we have to debit. Clear. Office expenses basically we have to credit. Now after the preparation of the final account. Clear. So this one is comes under the nominal. So office furniture account basically if we are debit. So office in the place of office expenses. Clear. Basically which account basically we have to credit, that is to profit and loss. Clear. To profit and loss adjustment account. Clear. To profit and loss adjustment account basically we have to do credit. Clear. By mistake here basically they will written wrong. To profit and loss adjustment account basically we have to do credit here. Clear. To profit and loss adjustment account basically we have to do credit here. Clear. So in this way basically entry can be rectified. Clear. So basically in this way entry can be rectified. Clear. So hope now it is clear to all of you regarding the trial balance. Clear. All the important points regarding that basically we have discussed here. Clear. Basically we have discussed here. Clear. So it is a discussion of that. So now last one basically, or that is adjusting and closing entries. Clear. Adjusting and closing entries. Clear. So final accounts are the accounts basically which are prepared at the end of the trading year. Clear. So these accounts basically show the final results of the business carried out the year. Clear. So final accounts are basically prepared to find out the profit earned or loss concerned by a, or loss sustained by a concern. Clear. Or loss sustained by a concern. Clear. So at the end of the accounting year, clear, all ledger accounts basically are balanced, and then a trial balance sheet is prepared. From the trial balance sheet, basically final account, that is trading, profit and loss account, and balance sheet are drawn. Clear. So while preparing trading and profit and loss account, clear. So all expenses or incomes basically for the full period are to be taken into the consideration. Clear. So all the expenses and incomes basically for the full period basically we have to take here. And if expenses basically have been occurred, clear, basically we can say that basically in specific year, expenses have been incurred, clear, but not paid. That is basically we have purchased the stationery but not paid the amount, clear. And the income, or basically income is due, that is basically we have selling something, but income basically we are not received, clear. So necessary entries are required to be passed, clear. So that type of entry basically are required to be passed to show the correct picture of the business, clear. So that entries basically are necessary to be passed, clear. So that entries basically are necessary to be passed to show the correct picture of the business. And these entries basically are known as the adjusting entries, clear. And these entries basically are known as the adjusting entries, clear. So hope it is clear to all of you regarding the trial balance rectification of errors, clear. So thanks to all of you for attending this session, and it leads to the completion of the topic. So 20 to 25 questions I will upload in the group for the practice purpose. So I request to all of you do practice of all these questions, clear. So do practice of all these questions. And if you are facing any issue in any question, so you can ask your doubts in the group. Basically, we will help you to understand the question, clear. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.